Hi, it's Olivia, and at the time of filming this, it is smack in the middle of the year, which makes it a great time to do this mid-year book freakout tag. I was tagged specifically by Elliot Brooks, and I'll link her channel and the original creators down in the description, but yeah, let's just get into it. The first question is, what is the best book that you've read so far? And upon looking at Goodreads, there's one book that I have given 5 stars, which is very, very rare, but looking back at it, I'm like, yep. And that rating goes to Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I was completely blown away by this, and I read it, and I was looking at the back at the, I only really look at these after I've read a book to see which ones, matches with what I thought, and this one sentence says, I read Little Fires Everywhere in a single, breathless sitting with brilliance and beauty, yada yada. Like, I so agree with that. I read it in one sitting, and it's a literary work that reads so quickly, and it reads like it's such a page turner. All the little micro details and into each character and how all their lives weave together, that just comes together really beautifully. Like, I really love this one. I was wrong earlier when I said this was the only 5-star read. I have to mention this other book that I loved with all my heart, and I wish I owned it, but I checked it out from the library, and that was Little Leaders, Bold Woman, and Black History. This is a children's book, and it's such a gem. It was so informative and so inspiring, and I really, really wish I had my own copy of it. So yeah, so far it looks like Little Fires Everywhere. They both have the word little to start. What are the chances? Little Leaders, Bold Woman, Black History. Also maybe Scythe by Neil Chesterman. Okay, this is a hard question. Question number 2 is, what's the best sequel that you've read so far? And I've only read this one, A Torch Against the Night, which I keep talking about in every single video, these books, but I like this one, but I mean, I don't have really a selection of sequels to choose from for my favorite. The third question is a new release that you haven't read yet, but you really want to, and that is gonna have to go to The Poppy War if that is a new book. I'm pretty sure that's new, but I've only seen raving reviews, and I really want to get to it. That's all I can say. Fourth question is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I don't really keep up with these anymore, the release dates for things, but I do really want to read the sequel to Warcross, which is Wild Card by Marie Lu. I can't wait for that. Question number 5 is, what's the biggest disappointment? And there weren't any that were terribly disappointing, but if I had to pick one, it was A Quarter Frost and Starlight. But again, my expectations were already not so high. I explained this more in that other video, like on the Is This Worth the Hype? But yeah, I guess this is the biggest disappointment. Number 6 is the biggest surprise, and that's, I'm gonna bring it back to Little Fires Everywhere, because the premise and the way people were describing it seemed really boring to me at first. I didn't know if this would be something that I could get into, but clearly it was something that I could get into. Number 7 is favorite new author, and this is the author of a book that I just read, The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong. This is my most recent read, and it's still on my mind. I have a whole review that I hope will be up at the same time as this. If it is, I'll link it somewhere. But yeah, this is her debut novel, and I'm so excited for more work by her. Number 8 is newest fictional crush. I mean, I've got a couple of those, so I'm just gonna pick one, and I think that's gonna have to be Josh Templeman. I finally read this one. I've seen this around for a few years now, and yeah, Josh Templeman. Number 9 is newest favorite character, and I don't know if I would say this for in An Ember in the Ashes, but definitely by A Reaper at the Gates. I was just so floored with how much I came to love Helene's character. I don't know if maybe some other people that's their least favorite perspective in that book, but I was hooked. She really just became such a strong character to me, and so I think she's my newest favorite. Number 10 is a book that made you cry, and they really don't make me cry. Nope. I can't even think of, no, they don't make me cry. But number 11 is a book that made you happy, and that is definitely going to have to be Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. I just had such a feeling of joy when I was reading that. It is just such a funny and sweet children's book that I wished I read growing up. It's such a treasure. I love that book. Number 12 is favorite book to film adaptation, and there's 2 major ones that I saw this year. They were Love, Simon and Ready Player One, and I actually really, really enjoyed both of them, but if I had to pick a favorite, it would go to Love, Simon. So good. I loved watching that, and it was also really fun to watch in the movie theater and to hear everyone's reactions too. That's just, oh. Number 13 is favorite review you've written, or I guess for like BookTube, YouTube version is favorite video that you've posted, and I have a couple. I've been lagging it with the reviews lately, so I'm just not even going to bother picking a favorite. with that, so I'll just name a few other videos that I really enjoyed doing. The Joy of Books video has a special place in my heart because I had just gotten this camera that I'm filming on right now because I really want to try making, other short cinematic videos and some photography, and that one was really me experimenting with this camera, and I just love videos like that, and I was really happy with how it came out, and I'm excited to do a similar type of video. I hope I'm able to get that up in the next few weeks. I'm very excited for that, but I think it came out really cute and sweet and showed how reading is just such a joy in everyone's lives. Two other videos that were completely unrelated to books. The one I just posted a few days ago called Moments in New York City, and another one just showing a bungee jumping, is because they highlight I can't believe that I've done like 2 major bucket list things this year. I don't know what it is about this year, but I just felt the need to do it. So I went bungee jumping and then on a helicopter ride that didn't have doors in New York City, and they are just such unbelievable experiences, and so I'm happy to have those videos forever. So that's why those are also some of my favorites. Number 14 is, what is the most beautiful book you've got this year? These are the only books that I have bought this year, and these, I realized looking at them, like, is it just me or is the design and color scheme very similar? Like, they both have this blue and yellow and white font stuff going on. I don't know, but they're not particularly, like, beautiful. But Children of Bone and Bone, I have to say, that's a very pretty cover, so I'll go with this one. And number 15, the last question is, what books do you need to get to by the end of the year? I have been dying to continue Homegoing because I had checked that out from the library, and I mentioned I was liking it, but I already had a lot of overdue finds, and so I didn't want to add to it, and it was due, and so I turned it in, and I haven't since checked it out again. And lastly, I'd like to get to Sharp Objects, which I only want to get to because I heard it's going to be a show, and therefore I want to read the book before the show, so I really want to get to that. But that is the end of the tag, and I'll leave anyone I tag in the description, and yeah, I'll see you in another video. Bye.